Welcome to another can diagnostic video. In today's riveting episode, we have a snap-on Zeus with the M4 scope and a pico scope, the 4425. Now I can't really do a comparison between the two. It's like chalk and cheese. One is a professional, purely oscilloscope. One of the best you can buy. In fact, it probably is the industry standard when it comes to oscilloscopes. And essentially the various M4 they fit this module to pretty much all the 4 lab scope on the snap-on devices. Is a pretty powerful bit of kit. It's going to do pretty much everything you need to do on a car, lorry, anything like that. Really, you don't need much more than the Zeus. The Zeus, the scope on these snap-on machines is good for everyday use. So it's difficult to do a comparison between the two. I can't really do a comparison because one is just an oscilloscope, and the Zeus, or the snap-on machines, are diagnostic devices as well. But I'm going to try and do some sort of comparison. They're both about the same sort of money, depending how good your snap-on dealer is. Mine is shout out to Lads, the snap-on guru. My local rep did me a pretty amazing price on this machine. And it probably works out about the same as what it would be to buy a pico. The pico does not belong to me, so this one's a thank you to Leon at Budget and Leggett for sending me this. Basically, he wanted to show me the difference between the two, and the fact that you don't really need an oscilloscope as powerful as this for everyday use. 98% of the time, you're going to be, the snap-on scope will do everything you need it to do. It's powerful enough, it goes down, it's fast enough, it's fast enough for flex race, so you don't need anything else better than that really on the vehicles at the minute. There are communications that are coming out that are quicker than CAN bus and flex rays and things, and whether the snap-on machine can keep up with them, I'm going to say they can at the minute, but the pico, without question of a doubt, at 5 million samples per division, it's fucking rapid, boys. It is rapid. Today, I'm just at home at the minute, just having a play around of it. I don't know how to use this pico. To get that waveform looking like that on the pico has taken me the best part of 20 minutes, and it's not because there's something wrong with the software or it's not intuitive or anything like that. It's because I've never used it before, and the snap-on scope I use on a daily basis and have done for several years. So I know, a couple of clicks, boom, it's there. It is the same for the pico, but again, with anything, the more you play with it, the quicker you're going to be at it. So I've just got a quick, using one of these little signal generators, again donated by my snap-on bloke, Lodge. So have a look at this. It's just can high. The snap-on, the lowest it goes down to is 50 US, where the pico, let's have a quick look here, goes down to 5 NS. I mean, look at that. That's unbelievable, that is. So if I take it back to the sound, that's the same as what it is on the snap-on. That's as low as the snap-on goes down to. Obviously, there's a lot more, well, you call it noise on the pico. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That is purely the fact that the pico is so damn powerful. There's a bit on the snap-on, you can't get any filtering on the snap-on that down this low anyway. I think it's about, off the top of my head, I don't know, I want to say it's 500 on a trigger. Not on a trigger, on what am I doing here? No, I want to filter it, then that's what I'm doing, is filtering. Yeah, got to be above 500. Let's go 1 millisecond. And then we can peak detect, then we can filter, but obviously the filter's no good on that. So let's go back. Yep, I know we don't need a filter, but you can do it on the Pico. I'm not going to show you how, because I don't know how to. So I've only been playing with this for about a half hour, and there's just so much stuff to click on. And I click on something, and I lose all signal. It's not the software's fault, it's my fault purely. This is not a tutorial on how to use the Pico nor the Snap-on. If you want a tutorial, then probably Scanner Danner is probably your best bet, for both for the Verus and for the Pico. His videos are pretty amazing on how to use these. So a quick, which would you buy? I mean, I own the Snap-on, I don't own the Pico. If the Pico came up cheap enough, then I would 100% buy it. No question about that. Would I use it more than the Snap-on though, even if I owned it? Probably not. That's purely down to quickness. If I need to see, if I've got a communications error with something, and all I want to do is just quickly check the OBD, my two pins, was it 14.7, 14.6, whichever, for can high and can low. Am I going to set a laptop up, get the Pico out, blah, 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 just to check a waveform? Probably not. Especially if I've already got the Zeus there, trying to communicate with the module. A couple of clicks on this, and we're talking to the module, and then we'll go straight into the scope, back to the scope, and it's there. It's quick as that. When I'm in trouble with something, if I'm really looking at something in depth detail, say if I want to get a cam crank waveform, if I've got the Pico there, then I'm going to set the laptop up for that. That's something that I'm going to set up. Anything more than 2 channels on the Snap-on is difficult to see on this screen. Even if you put it on a TV, which is obviously at work on my workstation, I've got this set up with a monitor, etc. But the level of detail that you want to see in a cam crank, I would have put that on it, no questions. But for quick signal, you want to check the signal quickly, then the Zeus. Again, it's difficult to compare the two. They're two completely different machines. They're completely different, but they're both used in the same application, as in the automotive industry. So I'm trying to tell you some of the differences. I mean, I'm not going to go over the differences because they are too numerous. There's too many of it. This software is amazing. It really is. The presets in here, there are so many presets. And if we went to this, that's all the presets you've got. To be honest, I don't use presets on this. I'd always scope, lab scope, 4-channel, and then I'll just set it up to however I want it. To me, that's how I've always done it. With the Pico, I can't do that. I'm going straight to these automotive and these presets, and I'm looking at the different things to do. That's purely the fact that I don't know how to use the software properly. It's not something you're going to learn in 5 minutes. The Zeus, you can learn this software within half hour. If you've used any scopes before, the Snap-on's pretty intuitive. You're gonna figure it out pretty damn quick. It's not hard. It's simple to use. Cursors, triggers, the filters, and the peak detect. You don't need much more than that usually, but when you're getting into pressure transducers and things like that, the pico all the way. I mean, we can zoom in on the pico. Simple, look at that, zooming in. Want to zoom back out? Can't do that on the snap-on. If I want to zoom in on this, I can't go any more in depth into this waveform than what's already there now. We can zoom out, which is how the snap-on machine works, as I'm sure many of you know. We can zoom out, but we can't zoom in. So, and we have to stop the waveform, we have to pause it. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, where are you? Let's move that. See, it's difficult. It's not. But one of the problems we've got here is the fact that I'm using this thing and it chucks out a data packet maybe once every 5 seconds. It's really slow. I mean, if this was a vehicle and I was getting a data packet once every 5 seconds, we've got issues. There's a problem somewhere. Let's just keep recording. The only reason I'm able to hold it like that is via triggers. If I was just let it run continuously, you would see nothing for several seconds and again. So, I mean, this zooming in feature on the pico, that's damn amazing, that is. See, I pressed something there and I don't know what I've done. Oh, it's all right. It's not me. The waveform simulator's just turned off. That's amazing to me. That's brilliant. Zoom in, zoom out. If you've got one of these touchscreen ones, pinch to zoom, all that, cracking. So it's just a quick video. I'll be doing some more, but the next videos I'll be doing will be on site. I'll be at the unit, I'll be at work, and we'll have this plugged up to a vehicle. I don't know what yet. Car, lorry, doesn't really matter. Signal's a signal. A MAF sensor on a lorry, still the same 5-pin, 5-volt reference that you've got on a car. So we'll plug into one of those, have a look, and then have a look at the differences on a vehicle. There's just it's difficult. They're two completely different things. The Pico is bloody amazing. The snap-on machine is amazing, but they're amazing for two different reasons. Can you run a workshop an electrical workshop just off a snap-on machine? No, you can't. Simple as that. Can you run an auto electrician straight just with a Pico? No, you can't. Simple. You need a scan tool. You need a scope. This is a scan tool and a scope, but it does no programming whatsoever. It does do some program, but it's extremely limited. It's nowhere in comparison to an Autel or to a, you need a J-box or an Autel, whatever. So with a Pico, you're going to need a lot more than just the Pico. You need scan tools, you need programmers. So you can't run a workshop off either of these, really, in my opinion anyway, especially when the garage like mine, where we do everything from 44-ton lorries down to Fiat Cinquecentas or whatever the bleed now they're called. So we will do some live action soon. So until next time, ta-da.